Guys, this trick is a reputation making trick. It's a pro level trick. It's going to make you look like an expert card cheat, and it is so easy that you're going to be able to do it by the end of this video. Let's get into it.
The cards are shuffled and then 10 cards are dealt from the deck. The spectator can shuffle these 10 cards as much as they want to. You then turn some random cards face up, and the cards are mixed face up and face down randomly. The spectator can cut the cards as much as they want to. Then the spectator deals the cards into pairs, and they can choose whether they want to flip this pair of cards over or deal them to the table, and they go through these 10 cards doing that process. The cards are then turned over and this random flipping is repeated. The spectator has a completely free choice what they do at this point. They can cut the cards as many times as they want to, and they can turn the whole packet over as many times as they want to. They have a completely free choice how they deal, cut and flip the cards. The cards are then dealt into two piles, and the spectator themselves riffle these two piles of cards together. They can give it a couple more shuffles if they want and a couple of cuts, and then the cards are dealt out. And even though the spectator has done everything, they've mixed the cards face up and face down, they've shuffled, and the cards have been completely out of your hands, all of the face down cards make up a perfect royal flush. This is insane.
There are two ways to do this trick. You can start with a setup, or you can do it completely impromptu. Now, I'm going to show you both ways. First, the setup. I prefer this way because it's so much easier. You're just going to start with a royal flush on top of the deck. Okay, so it's very, very easy to set up before you do the trick. If you know an underspread cull, you can do it that way. And from that point, you're ready to go. You take the cards out of the box. We're going to give the cards a mix, and all I'm doing here is I'm just controlling that top stock so it's not mixed with the cards. And it's a very, very easy way to do it. The stock's on top, obviously your royal flush is on top. That's going to go into the right hand. And when you shuffle, when I riffle shuffle, all I do is I make sure that I leave at least 5 cards here on top of the deck. And so when these fall, that means that then they aren't shuffled and you've still got your setup on top of the deck. You say we're just going to use 10 cards, and you deal out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is your royal flush, and then another 5 cards. Right, if you hate setups and you don't want to do it that way, here's an easy solution. To get into the trick, you have the spectator mix the cards, you take them back, and then you just go through the cards with the cards towards you, and you remove your 5 royal flush cards and then any other 5 cards. You put them down on the table and you're in exactly the same position. So you can do it either way, it's up to you. Right, so when you're in this position now, you now have your royal flush and your 5 random cards. You can give these to the spectator to shuffle. So they mix the cards, they give them a really good mix. And then when you get the cards back, you say that you're just going to turn some cards face up. In actual fact, you're going to be pairing the cards together. When you go through the cards like this, what you're going to do is you're going to look at the cards and you're going to pair up 2 royal flush cards, or 2, we'll call them X cards. X cards are cards that aren't the royal flush cards. So right now, I can see that I've got almost 2 X cards here, right? Now your X cards, your pair of X cards, you're going to put face to face. All right, so I'll put them face to face and I'll place them down. Next, I have 2 royal flush cards. So any 2 royal flush cards you put back to back. Okay, so these case, I put these back to back. Now you're doing all this with the cards towards yourself, so they can't see what you're up to. And you just explain that you're turning some cards face up. So again here, what I'd probably do here is I'd move these, so I've got 2 X cards and I'd put these face to face. Remember, every pair of X cards goes face to face. And then your royal flush cards always go back to back. So here I've got 2 royal flush cards. These are going to go back to back. And then finally, you've got just 2 cards. Now, I always have my royal flush card on top, and you can either put these face up or face down. It doesn't matter. So let's go face down. Right. Now, this is the cut and turnover principle. Once again, one of my favorite principles in Magic. It's awesome. So you say to the spectator, you can take the top 2 cards together like this. You can either deal them down on the table, or you can take the top 2 cards and flip them over and deal them down. It's completely up to you. So what I normally do at this point is I demonstrate and say, look, if I want to deal, I can deal, or if I want to take these 2 and flip, I can flip, and it doesn't matter what you do. You can do whatever you want. So you give the cards to the spectator, and of course, if they've been listening to you, they go through like this, and they really can flip or deal. As long as they do 2 cards together, it's going to work. And you explain at any point they can turn the whole packet over, and they can do the same again. So they can deal, or they can flip, and they can deal, and they can flip. And then any point they want, when the packet's on the table, they can cut it, or they can turn the whole packet over and cut it. And you just have them, you know, mix the cards in this procedure. The great thing is that no matter how they flip or deal or cut or whatever, as long as they follow your instructions, this is going to work every time. You now just deal 2 equal piles going between the two. So alternating between the 2 piles like this. And you look at which pile has your royal flush cards face up. So here I see my royal flush cards are face up here. You can see here we've got the 10, the queen, and the king. Whatever pile that is, you're going to turn this face down. And then you ask the spectator to riffle shuffle these 2 packets together. So they can riffle shuffle like this. If they can't do a riffle shuffle, shame on them. Point them towards my channel. Then you can also do this kind of Rosetta shuffle where you just spiral the cards like this. And this is Leonard Green's Rosetta shuffle, which also looks really nice. And they can mix the cards like that as well. And also, if they'd like, they can pick the cards up at this point and give them an overhand shuffle. Just watch they don't flip any cards over, or it's going to mess it up. And they can cut the packet as well. Doesn't matter. So right now, you're in this situation where all of the face down cards are actually royal flush cards. So you say to the spectator, do you want the face down cards or the face up cards? Now, it doesn't matter what they say, you're just going to kind of change your presentation at the ending depending on what they say. So let's say they say, I want the face down cards. So you say, okay, you go through the cards and you deal the face up cards to you, and you deal the face down cards to the spectator, like this. Okay, either way, what you end up with is 2 piles of cards. Now, if they've said they want the face down cards, you say, oh, this is amazing. Look at this. Not only did you separate the face down cards from the face up cards, you dealt yourself a royal flush. If they say they want the face up cards, then unfortunately, they get the random face up cards. And when they deal the face down cards to you, say, that's amazing because you managed to deal me the winning hand in this game, actually dealt me a royal flush. So either you get the royal flush or they get the royal flush. Either way, it's a royal flush from a seemingly shuffled deck of cards where they've had full control, mixing the cards face up and face down. And I just think this is an absolutely insanely beautiful trick. Guys, I hope you like this, and I hope you surprise yourself when you dealt the cards out. You're thinking, there's no way this is going to work, and then it works, right? It's awesome. It's the cut and turnover principle. It's an amazing principle by Bob Hummer. If you like the video, then hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe for future videos. And also, if you want to continue learning magic in the right way, don't forget about my magic course. It is a full beginner's course on magic. It's 4 hours long, and it teaches you everything that you would need to know about learning magic. You're going to fast track your progress. I'm going to pop a link to that in the description below, so check that out. If you like the principle, I've done a couple of other tricks on this channel. This is probably the most famous one. Check that out if you've not seen it already, because that uses the principle in a whole different way and it takes it to a whole new level. Thank you once again for tuning in. It's been awesome hanging out. Enjoy the trick, go and amaze someone, and I'll see you soon in the next video.